Presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Philly.
Cloudy day, and the roof is closed at Miller Park. The Halos have dropped the first two games of this series, and they're trying to pick up a victory on getaway day. It's Game 3 against the Milwaukee Brewers from this gorgeous ballpark. Hi, everybody from inside Miller Park. We decided to change up the mojo a little bit. Things have not gone well for the Angels. We welcome you back to Angels Baseball here on Fox Sports West. He's Mark Gubiza. I'm Victor Rojas. This is Bernie's dugout high above Miller Park, and I'm surprised that he's actually doing it.
I have no nails left right now.
We trying to change it up, like we said. The Angels obviously have struggled a little bit, especially of late. And on the road, it has not been good. We saw it last night. Took an early lead in both games of the series, only to see the games lost.
Well, I mean, obviously you want to win this last game. They could have won both of those games. But the fun thing about it is what we're doing up here right now. Baseball players are certainly not superstitious at all. You know, look at Bull Durham, Major League. They never do anything out of the ordinary to make sure you win a game. So we're being up here right now in this situation where we're way up here, and I'm certainly never looking down there, that's for sure. But we're having a lot of fun. Just get some early runs and count on Hector Santiago. They go out there and deal. He's throwing the ball so well this year with that good velo with his fastball.
As you always say, it's great to pick up a win, especially when you're going bad. Pick up a win on the flight home, right?
Yeah,
it makes it a little bit better.
Getaway day is always the most important day. That way, it's a happy flight on the way home for the fellas.
All right, you're gonna get down on the slide?
Yes, I'm gonna give it a shot right now.
You're finally gonna go down the slide?
I'm gonna go down the slide.
Get down there, big boy.
All right, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes to win the game.
Hey, what do we got coming up?
You know, when we come back, we're gonna talk starting pitchers for today, if indeed I survive.
Good luck, Gilby.
Oh yeah, can't wait. Whoa! Whoa! Oh me, oh my! Woo! Checking my pulse right now. Oh.
Getting you ready for the finale of this three-game set between the Angels and the Milwaukee Brewers. Hector Santiago on the mound for the Angels. And Gooby did not fare well the last time out. That was against the Texas Rangers, but on the season so far, very good numbers.
Yeah, his fastball velocity prior to his last game has been outstanding. I thought he went a little bit away from his fastball against the Rangers, but it's been very good. Upwards of 95, 96 miles an hour, especially up in the strike zone. His changeup has been good. His slider has been very effective for him. And also his curveball, cut fastball. All his pitches have been working for the most part this entire season. And when he's ahead of the count, he is virtually unhittable. And look for Hector to get ahead of the count and finish off these very aggressive hitters for the Milwaukee Brewers. See what he has done so far this year. 2-1 mark, very good ERA. Now, Zach Davies is really struggling when you think about it. 0-3, the ERA almost at 9, has given up a lot of hits, 23 hits. In 13 2/3 innings pitched. Both lefties and righties have seen the ball very well out of his hand. Look for the offense to get rolling today.
Let's see what the Angels have in store for Zach Davies. We're just about ready for baseball here in Beer City. Sit back and relax. Going to bring you the lineups and the first pitch when we return. Final game of the three-game set. The Angels trying to finish off this road trip on a winning note. They have an off day tomorrow before they take on the Tampa Bay Rays at home beginning on Friday, Mother's Day weekend. Can't believe it's Mother's Day weekend coming up already.
Unbelievable.
It is great. Make sure you get your gifts in tow, folks. Make sure the flowers are ready, ordered, everything. All right? Gooby?
Yes.
Just reminding you right now.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
1-800-Flowers. All right? Let's take a look at Mike Scioscia's lineup for the Angels. Game number 28. Halos at 12-15 on the season. And it's a lineup that we've seen regularly here, especially here in Milwaukee. Escobar, Ortega, Trout at the top third of the order. Pujols, Calhoun, Simmons, the middle part of the order. Soto behind the plate today. Santiago, the pitcher, in the 8th spot. And then Giavotella back out at second base, and he'll bat 9th. They're taking on a 23-year-old right-hander, native of Mesquite, Arizona. His name is Zach Davies.
And Davies' fastball is 88-92. Will sink. He also has a cut fastball, curveball, and changeup. But my go-to is to be successful against Davies. Multi-hit innings. He's given up a lot of hits, mentioned that before, and get the hitters' counts. In other words, get that fastball 1-0, 2-0 counts where he's even more susceptible to giving up that line drive or big fly.
Defensively for Milwaukee this afternoon, it's Braun back in the lineup. He's in left. Flores in center. Presley in right. Santana scratched before the game. He played last night, dealing with a shoulder issue. Perez, Villar, Hill, and Carter in the infield from third to first. Lucroy behind the plate.
We know how hard Chris Carter can hit the baseball. But he's done a much better job fielding that first base position this year. .996 fielding percentage, 1 error. Last year, had 8 errors at first base, 992 fielding percentage. But the second most by any American League first baseman as far as errors. Carter's done a much better job.
He swung the bat well in the series. 2 home runs yesterday. Halos, both games, as we mentioned, leads in the first inning, but unable to make them hold up. Last had a 4-0 lead that they could not hold on to, and eventually losing 5-4. Yunel Escobar leading things off, had a couple of hits last night, going 2 for 4, and the first one today is downstairs. Yunel hitting .290, 3 home runs, 8 runs batted in. Both teams taking the day off as far as BP is concerned, on the field anyway. Just fell back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Halos now 6-9 out on the road this year. They'll go home for 6. Rays in for 3. Off day on Monday. And then the St. Louis Cardinals in town for 3. Right back to interleague play again.
Yeah, 2 really good teams coming into Big A, so all Angel fans come out to those games. The Rays with very good pitching. The Cardinals have been crushing the baseball as far as home runs.
1-2 pitch. That just missed inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Davies 13 in the 3rd innings, 23 hits, 10 strikeouts, 7 walks so far.
A lot of
3
base
starts.
A lot of base runners.
Yeah. Ground ball. This one's over to 3rd. Perez has it. 1 away. Brings up Rafael Ortega, the left fielder. Ortega, starter in left field in all 3 games of the series. Multi-hit game last night, going 2 for 4 with an RBI, 2 runs scored. Pulls this one over to the right side. That's Aaron Hill, the veteran. 2 down.
Boy, Trout, just like everyone else, this Angel lineup has not faced Davies before, but it seems to be the perfect matchup for Trout. A lot of fastballs, lower part of the strike zone. 2-seam fastball will cut a little bit, but also everything seems to be around the knee level, which is right into the swing path of Mike Trout.
Shift on against Trout. 3 infielders on the left side. Carter way off the line at first base. The outfield, however, stays straight up. First pitch, a strike.
When you look over at Carter over there in that right side of the infield, he still covers quite a bit of that infield. That's a big man.
No balls, 2 strikes on Trout. He's hit safely in 12 of 13 games. 1 for 4 last night with a 2 RBI single. Has 20 runs batted in. Good enough to lead the ball club. Albert on deck is second with 17 RBIs.
Going to come inside with a fastball. Lucroy looked like he wanted a slider away, then a curveball away. Davies wanted to go fastball in. Go back away.
Just missed low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He's 23 years old. He looks like he's 13. Young kid, high school draft pick by the Orioles in 2011. Trout reaching for this one. He was a 26th round pick by Baltimore in 2011. He got traded over last year. Deal for Gerardo Parra. His big league debut. Ended up pitching in 6 games, 6 starts, and actually threw the ball well for Milwaukee last year. 3-2 and a 3.71 in a little showcase. Full count.
Let's put a norm with Trout, seeing a lot of pitches. All over 4.5 pitches per at bat for Trout.
3-2, got him looking. Trout takes a cold strike, 3, and the Angels down at order. Right to the bottom of the first, scoreless. lineup for the Milwaukee Brewers. They are currently 11-15 and in 4th place in the National League Central. Jonathan VR will lead things off. He's the shortstop. Alex Presley in right. Ryan Braun at left. Jonathan Lucroy behind the plate. Chris Carter at first. Aaron Hill at second. And Nan Perez is the third baseman. Ramon Flores in center. And then, of course, rounding out the starting 9, Kyle Davies, the starting pitcher. Hector's making his 6th start of the season. 2-1, 3.34 ERA.
And 1-1 on the road so far with 3.54. My go-tos for Hector be successful in this game. Work ahead, very good when he's ahead of the count, and trust fastball command. Very good fastball from Hector.
VR, the switch hitting shortstop, takes strike 1, hitting .265 with a home run and 6 runs batted in. 1 for 3 game yesterday with a single and a walk. VR from the right side, .276 so far this year, 8 for 29. 2-1 count. Last start for Santiago was Friday night when 5 2/3 allowed 4 runs on 8 hits, including a home run, 1 strikeout, 1 walk. Good off speed, and it's 2-2.
Real good arm angle too with his changeup. Didn't try to slow down the arm. Same motion as his fastball, same arm slot as his fastball.
Missed down low, full count. I mentioned the strikeout walk, 1-1 on Friday for Hector. Velocity not where we've seen it this year on Friday. This year he's been about 93, 94 on occasion. 91, 92 Friday's contest, and he walks the first batter. And a guy you'd like to keep off the bases. VR stolen base threat as we take a look at the Angels defensively. Ortega, Trout, Calhoun in the outfield from left to right. Escobar, Simmons on the left side. Giavatella and Pujols on the right. Soto behind the dish.
And Hector on the mound, a lot of fly ball action. Mike Trout out in center field. Error on Saturday was his first in 182 games. Center field, 2 outfield assists this year. Career high 7. Very spacious center field area here at Miller Park. A lot of room to roam for Mike Trout.
VR, the team leader in stolen bases at first base, has 8 on the year. He's been caught twice. 1-0. Alex Presley, the right fielder. Mentioned Domingo Santana originally slated to start in the leadoff spot and play right, but he got scratched. Presley is going to start at center, moves over to right with Flores taking over in center field. 4 for 17 with a home run and 5 runs batted in. 2-0.
When I talked about getting ahead of the count, Hector's been behind in the count. These 2-0 counts so far this year. Hitters 4 for 5 against them with a home run and 3 RBI. Head of the count 0-1, 0-2, 1-2. Combined 5 for 49 against Hector. Very important for him to start working ahead of counts.
Big lead for VR, and it's now 3-0.
In my Hyundai key for this game for the Angels, certainly it's all up to Hector Santiago, what he's doing on the mound, going a little rainbow man on the silver mountain. So important for him to work ahead and work deep in this game and maintain a lead when you get it. Huge game for Hector and the Angels, especially with Hector on the mound tonight.
They want VR to lead off the first, and he's behind on Presley, 3-0. Giovanni Soto going out there and looked like Hector working awfully quickly. And there's a 4-pitch walk. So back-to-back walks to start the first. Not a good sign. And the velocity, Gooby, 89-90 last couple of pitches. Now that just may be a product of trying to get it over fastball.
Exactly.
You're asking for trouble, though, with free passes and Ryan Braun coming up.
Yeah, it's certainly not the ideal situation with Ryan Braun coming up with runners in scoring position.
Braun had the night off last night, hitting .372 with 5 home runs, 21 runs batted in.
See that batting average with running in scoring position, .545, which is tops in baseball.
Swinging first pitch, and he skies one foul and out of play. Braun did play in Monday's game. Had a 3-hit game, 2 singles and a double, picked up an RBI. He and Chris Carter tied for the team lead in runs batted with 21. Last night, Tropiano had issues with command. That cost him. Even though he had a 4-0 lead, ended up giving up 5 runs on 5 hits and 5 innings of work. He walked 5 last night. That's a career high for him. Good changeup. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And that's one pitch he's been able to get back into some counts so far this year. Has been his consistent changeup.
VR at first base. Presley, or at second base, pardon me. Presley at first base. Good speed on the bases for the Brewers. Bottom of the first, scoreless. The Angels went down in order. Santiago walking VR and Presley. But ahead here on Braun. 1-2 pitch. And that is driven out to center field. Trout moving back on it. He's at the warning track and he'll make the catch. VR late to tag. Heading to third now, and he'll get there. That is a long out for Ryan Braun, but it's the first out here in the first.
And we said it was spacious out there in center, and we needed all of that space to be able to run that one down. For Trout back up against the wall.
Hit it to the wrong spot. I mean, you look out to center field, and that's where the fence juts back out towards center underneath the scoreboard.
In the head of the count. 1-2, but a fastball right down the heart of the plate. And Braun doesn't miss many fastballs. He didn't necessarily miss it. He just hit the wrong part of the ballpark, like you said, Victor. Still, you got the double play in order. That's an out. That's all you think about if you're Hector right now. You got an out. Now you got a guy up there that could still roll into a double play.
Both VR and Presley thinking that ball was going to either get out or get over Trout's head. That's why VR was late getting back to second base to tag, and Presley remained at first. Jonathan Lucroy, the catcher. Hitting .321.
Presley can run a little bit, and Hector has 2 pickoffs this year.
And to appeal, saying he didn't tag up, or he left the bag too soon. Remember, it's the minute the ball makes contact with the fielder's glove, that's when you can take off after tagging up. First one to Lucroy, off speed, cut on and missed. He had a changeup yesterday from Tropiano for a home run, his first of the year.
I think it was a product because the pitch before was a curveball, so you're talking about very similar speeds. And Hector has gotten 2 ground ball double plays, not necessarily known as a ground ball pitcher, but much better, especially with his cut fastball and slider this year down in the zone. Talk about line drive percentage. It's only 13%, which is the lowest in the majors for Hector. It's pretty impressive.
That's a strike, by the way.
That's a lot of the strike zone.
Yeah, Soto almost too quick to yank it down.
And this is right in the heart of the plate. And a lot of the strikes are well below the top part.
1 ball, 1 strike. VR at third, Presley at first, no score. But VR bluffing down the line as if he were going. And that threw Hector off a little bit, kind of sped up that delivery. It's 2-1.
He's trying to time him. And also throw off the hitter's timing also. See if Hector can get a fastball down in the strike zone, get a ground ball at Simmons.
Shallow center field. Giavotella backpedaling out, calling for it. Makes the catch, 2 down.
That's a good idea by Giavitelli to get rid of that baseball quickly. When you get it in the infield, it allows Albert to look both, because there's no one at first base at that point, but still be able to look back at second and also keep an eye on VR at third.
After walking the first two, he's retired the next two. Now he gets to face Chris Carter, first baseman. He was in the cleanup spot last night, ended up going 2 for 4. 2 home runs, 3 RBIs.
I'd be real careful with him here. There's still an open base, not being at second base, but a lot of home runs in his career against the Angels and 2 against Hector. It's a changeup to an inner half. That's a dangerous pitch. 357 career hitter for Carter against Hector. 2 home runs, 5 RBI. And going through a series of signs just in case Pressey would go. Those series of signs means throw through, fake a throw, and then throw back to third.
No balls, 2 strikes.
That's a good changeup there. Back-to-back changeups.
Carter in his career against the Angels, his entire career, 61 games. He's at 258 with 18 home runs, 39 runs batted in. By far the most home runs he's hit against any team. And he gets him. Foul tips this one into the mitt. Nice job by Santiago to settle down. We're through 1 and we're still scoreless.
Certainly has improved in the last 10 games, averaging nearly 5 runs a game at 4.9 runs per game, which is 4th best in the American League. 4 more runs in 8 of the last 10 games. Remember, the first 17 averaging less than 3 runs per game. The offense starting to get it rolling.
Albert looks at a strike. Davies with a 1-2-3 first, including a strikeout of Trout. Pujols, Calhoun, Simmons for the Angels here in the second. Albert last night 2 for 4, a couple of singles and an RBI. 204, 6 home runs, 17 runs batted in. Mike Scioscia last night commenting on that first inning single by Albert. That Albert lost sight of the baseball and thought that ball was being caught by Santana, and that's why unable to get to second base, eventually thrown out there to end the inning. Two balls, two strikes. They just agree to disagree.
Yeah. It's the beauty of doing a game.
That's right. 2-2 now. Breaking ball misses. Full count. Albert at 566 home runs. Three shy of tying Rafi Palmeiro on the all-time list. Payoff, and he walked him.
Good at bat by Albert. Laid off that slider off the outside corner. And Davies had that stretch position, which he's been in a lot. Talked about in the beginning of the game, 23 hits and 13 2/3, 7 walks. He also hit a couple batters also.
Cole comes in batting .286. 5 doubles, a triple, and a couple of home runs. Takes low. Lucroy is going to go out and talk things over with Davies. Lucroy did a nice job last night with the guy making his first major league start, although not a youngster, 31, Junior Guerra. But Guerra got into some trouble on occasion, gave up 4 runs, but ended up going 6 innings, allowing 7 hits, picked up his first big league win.
Yeah, Lucroy known for his offense catcher, but also pretty solid defensively. That'd be a thrill for the youngster there as far as major league time. Left-handed batters hitting .429 against Davies.
Albert over at first with a leadoff walk. Just missed down. Ground ball past the diving Aaron Hill into right center. That's a base hit. Pujols will advance to second and stop right there.
Good swing by Cole Calhoun. Always hit hard by Hill at second base. And left-handers continue to swing well against Davies. Fastball just below the belt, running away. It's a ball hard right center field. Wonder if Mike Scioscia at this point, because of all the conversation about ground ball double plays, would he have Simmons squaring around here?
Thought about doing it, pulls it back. And ahead of the count of 1 ball, no strikes. A .225 average for Andrelton. 0 for 3 last night. He shoots one out to right field. That'll be caught by Alex Presley. Plays a shallow right. There's the first out. So unable to advance the runners.
Well, Simmons has hit some pretty good baseballs the last couple of games. That's hit well to right. He had a line drive double play to Chris Carter at first base yesterday.
Andrelton coming into play. Been struggling. That's why his batting average is down. Giovanni Soto at the plate. Breaking ball. In there for a strike.
talk about percentages of pitches for Davies this season. Fastball around 54, 55%. There's a cut fastball about 9%, curveball 12, but 25% his pitches changeups.
One ball, 2 strikes. Soto a .343 average so far. 3 home runs, 7 runs batted in. He takes a called strike 3 in the bottom part of the strike zone, 2 outs.
Pretty good spot by Davies downstairs at the knees. One thing we have not seen that called a lot, that low strike, but it has been called in this game, and that's playing right into the hand for Davies because all his pitches generally are going to be around knee level. When it's upstairs, that's when he's making mistakes.
Hector Santiago at the plate. Trying to help his own cause, takes outside. First opportunity this year for Hector to swing to bat. 2 for 13 in his career. Two balls, no strikes.
Hector certainly has a lot of confidence in his swing. He feels he can hit the baseball well, and you can see this even his approach standing at the plate. It's a pretty good idea what he's doing.
Yeah, there's confidence in the stance. The swing will just wait. We'll hit pause for now. He looks like he's looking for a pitch to drive. 2-0. Caught the outside corner. It's 2-1.
That's a pitcher's pitch. He let that one go. He knows that.
Outfield very shallow, although Braun went straight up and left. The other two, Flores and Presley, center and right respectively, playing in. Pujols at second, Calhoun at first, and this is a ground ball to short. VR over to Carter, and that's going to do it for the Angels. They get the first 2 on, they get nothing out of it. We'll head to the bottom of the second, scoreless. Are good friends. We met just a couple of days ago. Last night we told them they've got to turn the hats around in order to change the mojo.
Yeah.
They're back at it today with the hats turned around.
There we go.
Every game matters. Host a business function or celebrate a special occasion in your own private suite at Angel Stadium. Suite rentals offer all-inclusive food and beverage packages. Visit angels.com/suites for more info. Scoreless, bottom of the second. And the Angel fans haven't had much to cheer about, especially on the second half of the first 2 games. They've taken early leads, have not been able to make it hold up. They dropped the first two in Texas. They won on Sunday. They dropped the first two in Milwaukee, hoping to win today. Get that flight back to Southern California. Enjoy the off day tomorrow. And then go get the Tampa Bay Rays beginning on Friday. Hector to face Hill, Perez, and Flores here in the second for Milwaukee. This one's up and away.
See, that time it looked like Hector slowed down his delivery with his changeup. Just kind of forced it, dropped his elbow.
1 ball, 1 strike. Hill was off yesterday. Pinch hit late last night. Ended up picking up a single. Starting third baseman Monday. Back in his traditional position of second base today. The 2 wins here at home. Milwaukee now 8-8 at Miller Park. They go on the road. They're going to Cincinnati and then to Miami. It's Craig Counsell, who took over for Ron Renicky last year.
He still looks extremely young.
Hill fouls it back. Foul back. Counsell, of course, a Wisconsin native. Whitefish Bay, Wisconsin. Went on to Notre Dame, into a pretty solid big league career. 2 world championships, 16 years. Interesting batting stance. It worked for him, though.
I don't know how he was able to do that. You got to be pretty quick with your hands.
Yeah.
As high as he had to bat up above his shoulder. We don't want to bring that up too often with Charles Nagy, though, being our pitching coach.
Yeah. Hill lifts one out the left. Ortega back a couple of steps. Now comes in. 1 down. Counsell with a degree in accounting.
So you're saying he's smart with numbers?
I guess. I would hope so. Graduate from Notre Dame. Accounting?
Yes.
Never took accounting as an elective anyway. I had to take it.
So you enjoyed it, right?
Oh, yeah. Check swing foul. Cool thing about Counsell, the fact that he's got his college coach as his bench coach in the big leagues.
That is
Murphy.
That is pretty amazing.
Yeah. Brought over from the Padres organization. Murphy in his first year as the bench coach. He's right there to his right. Can't see him. But that's him. Also coached at Arizona State. There. That.
Had a chance to talk to him yesterday. Boy, you talk about a guy that loves the game of baseball. That man does.
Hernan Perez, a 1 ball, 2 strike count. This one's out toward right. Hit pretty well. This will chase Cole back. And this one's going to get out of here. A home run for Hernan Perez. His second of the season. It gives Milwaukee a 1-0 lead.
That baseball carried very well to right center field. An all speed pitch, changeup. Too much of the play for Hector. And Hector almost surprised at that one himself.
Oh, it's a carry, didn't it?
I'm surprised that got out. I thought maybe it would run Cole back towards the warning track at most.
'28th home run Milwaukee is hit this year. As Ramon Flores fouls it off. 2 balls and a strike. Flores a 137 batting average, 7 for 51. 1 double, 5 RBIs. A home run followed by a walk, and with 1 out, you have the pitcher coming up, and Davies. Davies 0 for 4 on the season. Escobar in on the grass at third base, anticipating a bunt. Hector's thrown 40 pitches. We're in the second. Nagy's going to come out. 21 strikes, 19 balls. Worked out of a first inning situation when he walked the first 2 batters. Got a couple of fly ball outs and a strike out of Carter.
I guarantee you this conversation right now from Charles Nagy is, hey, take the out right now. We need some outs. We need some length in this game from Hector Santiago. Bullpen has been used a lot.
Halos have not had a starter finish 6 innings in the last 6 games.
Just 2 more strikes than pitches out of the strike zone with the 40 pitches so far for Hector.
One nothing Milwaukee. 1 out, 1 on. But on the first base side, Albert will pick it up and apply the tag. Sacrifice. But Flores at second base with 2 outs. It's a pretty good bunt.
Did a nice job of deading that baseball, especially because it's cutting inside. Cut fastball. He did a nice job. Look how level that bat was. That's what you try to do to make sure you get that ball down in that infield grass. And he did a solid effort.
Jonathan Villar at the plate. Second plate appearance in as many innings. Big swing and a foul ball back. So the number of which he's reached safely of 22 of 25 games. Villar comes in with a .382 on base percentage. First time we've seen him in the leadoff spot. He had been batting #2. This one fouled off.
These are the spots where Hector has really excelled in his career. 186 batting average against it with runners in scoring position in his career, which leads all active pitchers in that category. And even coming into this game today, 158. Go down with the first inning.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Big lead for Flores at second, and Villar takes a called strike 3. And that will end the inning. Second strikeout for Santiago, but he also allows a solo home run to Hernan Perez. Went to the third, and the Angels trail it. off the bat of Hernan Perez. Here in the third, the Angels send up Giavotella, Escobar, and Ortega. That's 9, 1, and 2.
Boy, Davies has pitched incredibly well so far in that lower part of the strike zone. Didn't get that call. Inside, outside, middle part, everything has been around the knees.
Giavotella rips one down the line and headed toward the corner. Johnny rounding first will head to second. And it's a leadoff double for Giavotella. That's his second double of the season.
And the one time he elevates Davies, Johnny Giavotella made him pay for it. 89-mile-an-hour fastball that was a little bit higher up in the strike zone. The rotation, that two-seam fastball stays thigh high. Giavotella ready to get the barrel of the bat, turns on it, hits it in the left field for second double. Angels in business. Start the third inning here.
Second hit allowed by Davies. Escobar grounded out in the first. 0 for 1. Nice little seesaw right there, huh? As far as the numbers for you now.
Trying to keep that front shoulder from lifting up, working to keep that level on his swing, especially on all speed pitches.
A bunt, first base side. Sacrifice will advance Giavotella over to third. Imagine that was on his own.
Yeah, there's no doubt that was on his own.
So 1 out and Ortega coming up. Play the infield at normal depth. Rafi grounded out there and Hill in the first. Does that here and it'll tie the score at 1. First pitch off speed. Angels last night 3 for 6 with men in scoring position. 3 for 8 Monday night's game. Overall a .265 average as a team. This one cute foul. Just over the head of Ron Renick.
Well, as a young hitter, when you're in a 2-0 count, you want to make sure you get a pitch drive. That was an all-speed pitch. Borderline could have been called a strike. Like it was just a little bit below the strike zone, but you want to get a pitch, especially with a man on third, elevated enough to get a sac fly at the very least. That's below the knees, called a strike.
Wow.
Two-seam fastball below the strike zone, brings it up as a catcher and still gets the call. Now your mindset changes. If you're Ortega, even a ground ball to the middle infielder is going to score a run.
This is lined to the shortstop, off the glove of a yard into center. It'll score a run. It'll go as an RBI single. We're tied at 1.
Mistake by Davies upstairs. Ortega did a nice job. This is how he stayed back on that wall. Line drive off the glove of VR. Off the bat, thought, uh-oh. Had a chance of catching that one, but this is the perfect swing. once again for Ortega, who continues to impress with the bat. Now let's see if we can impress with the speed here.
4th RBI for Ortega, and he's off to a big lead. Trout struck out looking in the first. 2 strikeouts for Davies, both looking.
Let's see Trout going first pitch. See if he can jump on a first pitch fastball.
Ortega takes off, pitches a strike, the throw down by Lucroy. Not in time, but stole a base. Good jump for Ortega.
And Davies is pretty quick to the plate too, but it's all about that quick jump and the momentum going forward. Head first slide, maintains connection with the base as the tag is kept on his leg.
No balls and a strike on Trout. Breaking pitch, and he drives this one out to center. This one will chase Flores back, still racing back. It's over his head. One hopper off the fence. Ortega will score easily. Trout rounding second. He's headed to third with an RBI triple. 2-1 Angels here to third.
And that, we talked about him being this be a perfect matchup for Trout against Davies. Everything down. That's a curveball that's barely not hitting the ground, and Trout hits that one hopper to the wall in dead center field. It's amazing power. Curveball, and look where this pitch is located. That's going to bounce in the dirt, and Trout crushes that one to the center. As Flores is going back and back on this baseball, one hops the wall, and Trout picking up his first triple of the season, 21st RBI.
33rd triple of his career. Infield in for Milwaukee. And Albert looks at a strike. Pujols worked a walk to lead off the second. Vladdy sitting at home saying that pitch isn't low. He's got nothing on me.
Yeah, you could bounce it in on the grass in front of home plate and he would still hit it, Vlad.
Well, he tied him up with that sinking fastball. No balls, 2 strikes. I'd like to see Vladimir Guerrero play cricket. He could do it.
Yeah, there's no doubt. The other cricket players probably wouldn't want to watch him play cricket, though, unless you were on his team.
Trout, by the way, picked up his 21st RBI. 0-2. Albert bounces it foul.
As much as you think Trout's a perfect matchup for Davies, Albert this season, it's a more difficult matchup against Davies. Albert's had a tough time with pitches low in the strike zone, under 100 batting average on low strikes. So Albert's trying to make sure he can bring something up in the strike zone to get a fly ball, if not more.
One ball, 2 strikes. Double by Giavotella. A sacrifice bunt by Escobar, and then back-to-back hits by Ortega and Trout.
What happened if you have a yard right here at shortstop? You're playing in, and the pitcher's throwing something all speed to Pujols. That's not a comfortable spot.
2 balls, 2 strikes. That is a tight shift to the left side and in.
They're almost right next to each other, almost like they're preventing a free kick in soccer.
Yeah. 2-2. Off speed, misses low, full count. Calhoun on deck.
.50 pitches, 28 strikes for Davies. 33 pitches coming into this inning. Already 17. Now he's behind by 1 run. Was ahead by 1 coming into the inning.
Payoff pitch. Albert bounces it foul.
Tell you what we've seen so far in this game, the baseball is carrying.
Albert works the walk.
Let's go back and take a look at that speed and triple by Mike Trout. Driving in Ortega. And that's worthy of a Carl's Cam replay. This breaking ball is barely off the dirt and then turns it on as it gets over the head of Flores in center field. And Trout, with that speed and that angle, he cuts the base off very well. Picks up his first triple of the season. Family still here and still thrilled to see their son swing the bat. There they are. My sister, mom and dad, niece and nephew here today. They're saying, hey, they just showed Mike on a Carl's Cam replay, showing his speed and power to center field.
First and third, and one out. Cole, a single in the second. 2-1 Angels. We're in the third inning. I like that idea by Cole. Brewers pitchers have given up a high average on first pitch this year. That's what Cole likes to do. Hack that first pitch. Except Davies turned it over. 0-1. Does it again.
Came back with back-to-back changeups. That's that circle changeup. Runs down and away. Looks like a fastball, but about a 10-mile-an-hour differential on the speeds of his fastball and changeup.
Triple up.
Yep, that's what Hector did to Chris Carter in the first inning. A lot of times pitchers will try to set up a pitch by going fastball.
Oh, 2. Down and away.
Pitchers. Came with the fastball.
They never learn.
No.
Cole lifts one out toward left. Not very deep. Braun has to race in, and he'll make the catch. Trout cannot advance. Neither can Pujols. 2 outs. Not off the bat. It had a chance to get down. 2 outs now. Andrelton Simmons coming to the plate.
And Braun plays a pretty deep left field, but he's still very athletic, able to run that one down. Former infielder.
Simmons a fly ball to right field in the second. 0 for 1. He's 0 for his last 14.
Much better batting average though with runners on for him. 317. He's hit a couple baseballs hard the last couple of days, but right at defenders.
First one down and away. This is not the only game that's currently being played as far as American League action. Actually, little interleague action as well. Nationals leading Kansas City 5-0 in the first.
And Kansas City, after that great comeback against Papelbon last night, well, they had a lot of momentum. And again, they always say momentum is started and stopped by the starting pitcher. They got 6 runs.
6 runs. They had 3 earned. So a couple of errors by Kansas City. Little chopper over the mound. Aaron Hill will force out Pujols, and the top of the third is in the books, with the Angels take a 2-1 lead as we head to the bottom of the inning. Here at Miller Park. Every moment matters when the Angels take on the Rays. Friday at 7:05. Fans in attendance will receive an Angels selfie stick courtesy of Farmer John as part of Guinness World Records official attempt. Visit angels.com/promotions to purchase your tickets today.
It's a great looks here at the ballpark today.
Yeah, hat day. You got to check that as baggage when you go back on your on the plane. Getting ready for Cinco de Mayo.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, actually, it happens on Cinco de Mayo.
Is it really?
Yeah. Go figure. Who knew, right? That throw you off a little bit?
Since when?
Sorry, man.
And Mother's Day on Sunday?
Well,
hey, there's a lot of fun
Mother's
to be
Day
had.
happens on Mother's Day, yeah.
On Mother's Day. Mother's Day.
Yeah. Presley worked to walk in the first. Well, the free passes issued by Hector. One ball, one strike. Hector with a couple of strikeouts. One hit allowed. That was the home run to Perez in the second. Hector working from the stretch with nobody on base to start an inning.
Here's my theory behind that. We just showed his batting average against with runners in scoring position. For the career, 186.
We saw this a couple years ago in his first season with the Angels, where kind of all over the map a little bit was mechanics, and almost pitch to pitch he would change, whether from the stretch or the windup, but we haven't seen it in a while. Presley fouls it off. It's 2-2.
See, for me though, when I was I'd much rather throw from the full windup. I always felt that you have much more behind your pitches. I think you're under control a little bit better at a stretch because you don't have a lot of momentum going as far as body parts moving. But if you want extra velocity, you would think full windup be your best bet.
Ryan Braun on deck, then Jonathan Lucroy. Presley fouls this one back just below us. Full count.
Well, you can see when you pitch out of the stretch position, you're more under control. See, not a lot of wasted movement, straight up with that leg. And you can drive, keep that front shoulder level as possible, and follow through. Still does a little bit of a recoil even from the stretch position.
And again, velocity 90, 91. You're not seeing the swings and misses that we got through the first 4 starts of the year for Hector.
That's why I don't understand why he would change it. He's been throwing the ball exceptionally well. He had a little bit of a tough start last time out, but it wasn't a bad start necessarily.
And he gets Presley to chase the high fastball for the first down here in the third.
And going upstairs, there's quite a few swing and misses with his fastball, especially when it's up around letter high. Now going back to a full windup.
Maybe a lefty righty situation for him. Braun hit a fly ball to deep center field in his first at bat.
Yeah, because I would think you want that little extra velo when you're facing Ryan Braun, the way he's been hitting the ball this season.
This is ripped into left, a base hit. Boy, everything must look like a beach ball to Ryan Braun. He's squared up even his outs. He's been batting .372.
He gets great sound off the bat. Fastball in the inner part of the plate. Still able to bring his hands in and got the barrel of the bat at 91. That's how confident he is hitting a fastball right now. Now his name's been bandied around quite a bit around baseball as potential trade bait A lot of guaranteed money due for Ryan Braun, but those numbers this year has been very, very good for him. Some MVP conversation over there first with Ryan Braun and Albert Pujols. Both have won MVPs in the National League.
Lucroy, a pop-up to shallow center. His first plate appearance in the first inning. He will look at a strike. Cardinals with 4 hits, the Brewers with 2. Nothing easy for Hector Santiago yet today. Walked the first 2 batters he faced and retired the next 3 in the first inning. He's facing 5 batters in the second as he struck out Villar with a man in scoring position in the second. Now a 1-out single here in the third. Now could be considered an easy inning if he gets a ground ball double play. Gets out of a shutdown inning.
That would be perfect too, to start limiting the pitches thrown per inning. Getting closer to 60 already.
A lot of attention to Ryan Braun at first base. 2 stolen bases. Has been caught once this year. Lucroy last year, 264 average. Some time with a fractured toe. Missed about a month last year. Albert holding Braun on at first. 1-2.
Good slider there from Hector. Hasn't thrown a whole lot of them so far in the game.
Quick conversation with Albert Santiago. Milwaukee getting on the board in the second on the home run by Perez. The Angels answering with 2 in the third. Single by Ortega, triple by Trout. Jammed him. Angelton Simmons to shallow left. 2 down. Braun back to first.
Good cut fastball from Hector to get a pop-up. Think about Simmons. Outstanding coverage on pop-ups. Actually, outstanding coverage everywhere on the field for Simmons. On the ground and in the air.
Chris Carter struck out to end the first. A lot of off-speed stuff in that plate appearance.
Got the shift on him in the infield.
Talking last night, if you're going to pitch Carter in, especially with fastballs, you're going to pitch him in off the plate just like that did. He is an extremely strong guy. Ball just jumps off his bat. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's not a lot of wasted energy on his swing either. 19 extra base hits already this season.
2 balls, 1 strike. Beckton trying to get out of this bottom of the 3rd, keeping a 2-1 lead. Very slow-paced game here. A lot of pitches being thrown.
So far for Hector, when he's thrown over the first base, it's pretty much been the exact same time. It's in the stretch position, comes to a slight pause and then throws over. Every once in a while you want to hold it a little bit longer if you're going to have a throw over. When you have a sign from the catcher, that's what you're going to try to do.
2-1. There's that off-speed pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Great call by Soto behind the plate. Talked about Soto throwing the ball well. He's thrown out 27% of would-be base stealers so far this year, but he's done a nice job as far as calling a game and framing pitches.
Reaches for this one, lifts one out to shallow left center. That's Simmons backpedaling out, calling for it, inning over. 3 complete here in Milwaukee. The Angels maintain a 2-1 lead. They will return home beginning on Friday night. Tampa Bay Rays in town for 3, and then the St. Louis Cardinals in for 3 Tuesday through Thursday. The Angels will head on the road again against Seattle. Then it's the week in Southern California. Dodgers home at home series, 2-2.
That's always fun.
Soto pulls one foul for strike 1. Bottom 3rd of the order. Soto, Santiago, and Giavatello.
Trace Thompson in a mammoth home run yesterday for the Dodgers. And yeah, his brother was pretty good last night also for Golden State.
Giovanni struck out looking in the 2nd, so he's 0 for 1. Davies, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, 4 hits allowed. 3 of which occurred in the 3rd inning. Single, a double, and a triple. Taylor's missed the cycle. Giovanni goes down swinging for the first out. Speaking of home runs, the Angels had their homer string snapped last night. They homered in 11 straight games. couldn't get one.
No, almost. Albert.
Santiago takes outside. Hector 0 for 1 as he grounded out in the second inning. The offense is yet to get it going against Davies, guy whose numbers are sky high as far as hits, runs allowed. That's out toward the alley in right center field. This has got a chance to get down, and it will. One hopper off the fence. Hector must have missed the bag. Yep. Must have missed the bag because he's at first base.
I'm breaking down my double here for a pitcher.
Nope. Should have been a double.
He jumped all over this fastball. That's a great swing. It's good leverage. Driving that one hops the wall.
See, as a pitcher, you got to remember you can look down when you're running, and that big white pillow thing, you got to touch those. You got to go.
We're used to doing sprints in the outfield, going line to line.
Pole.
Yes.
There are no bases out there.
No.
Oh man,
that's next spring training. Impressive swing though.
Yeah. He didn't lose sight of the baseball. He lost sight of the bag. Giavatello with a double into the left field corner, his first time up. I had a chance to get out. I thought it was going to go.
That was Barry Bonds territory in the All-Star game here where Torrey ran it down, isn't it? Pretty close.
Yeah, a little bit more to the left. But, same wall. I mean, I'm assuming he missed the bag. I mean, because the way he slammed the brakes on, that's what occurred to me. Or maybe DiSarcina lassoed him back to the bag. Johnny fouls it off.
Certainly has a big lead at first base. That's all he wanted to work on. His lead and secondary.
Secondary.
Lead. Yes. Brewers not respecting that speed for Hector. Then Chris Carter go away from the base.
Hey, exit velocity on that double, or pardon me, single by Santiago at 96 miles per hour. Distance 375 feet.
Wow. 375.
375.
Well, the one thing about Hector, at least he never talks. He's having a long conversation with Chris Carter. Anybody near Hector, we love Hector Santiago. If you're near him, you will have a conversation with him.
Two balls and two strikes, one out. Johnny grounds this one to short. VR to Hill to Carter, safe at first.
Pretty good slide by Hector to try to prevent a double play from being turned. Giavatello got down there quickly. It's a good slide in there. Pretty impressive keeping that head down and hands close to the body. A lot of times you'll see somebody slide out their hands up like that and get hit in the hand. And again, talking with someone else.
Yunel Escobar coming to the plate now with two outs. And Giavatello at first base. Yunel 0 for 1. He grounded out in the first. Had a sacrifice spot in the third inning. And, we're certainly of the belief that was on his own.
No doubt. Especially because his ability to drive in runs. What do you have? 63 RBI last year. He's a run producer when given that opportunity.
Giavatello takes off, swing and a miss, a throw down, and they get Johnny. And that'll do it for the Angels here in the fourth. Well, to the bottom of the inning, the Angels up by the score of 2-1. At second base, came back to the dugout, and the very first pitch to Escobar, Giavatello was thrown out trying to steal. So it's not as if maybe he got the full amount of rest to be able to catch, get composed before heading out there. Threw his warm-up pitches, and you know what? Instead of trying to sneak a couple extra pitches, you go out there as a catcher, take a little extra time.
And he played in the National League, Soto, so he knows that to give that pitcher a little extra breather.
Aaron Hill takes inside. Hill, the fly ball to left, leading off the second, so he's 0 for 1. 7th round pick in 2000 by the Angels. 2 balls, no strikes. Santiago with 3 strikeouts, 3 walks, and 2 hits allowed, one of which was a home run to Perez. Second, Perez on deck. Perez, the third baseman. Swings and misses on the first one. He went opposite field in that second inning home run, his second of the year. So he's just now 4 for 10 on the season. Tried to push a bunt toward first. Perez just 25 years of age, but he's had some time in the big leagues before with the Tigers. A couple of games in 2012. Same in 2013, 14, and 15. And he drives this one out toward right center field again. Cole racing back, and this time he'll make the catch on the track.
That's why I was happy he tried to bunt the pitch before. He's hit a couple baseballs very hard that way. One out of the ballpark, and that one to the warning track. Got a good little swing to go the other way. Doesn't try to overswing. He's trying to make contact. He's got a good inside-out approach. That went to the warning track.
.270 last year in 90 games for the Brewers. Claimed off waivers. There's Flores, center fielder, drew a walk in the second. Aaron Hill still over at first base. The Angels in the fifth at the top of the order coming up, and Escobar taking Trout. Two balls, no strikes. Very short lead at first for Aaron Hill.
And velocity on the fastball throughout this game for Hector, 88, 89, 90. For a while there, he was averaging almost 93. It was about 92.7 miles per hour. Put in the Fangraphs just a couple starts ago. He's trying to make sure he throws strikes.
Two balls, two strikes with one out. Very chill crowd here at Miller Park. Flores fouls it off.
Certainly quite a few Angel fans here today trying to stay warm. It's a little chilly outside of the Dome Stadium here. Even pretty cool inside.
Flores goes down swinging, two down.
My Hyundai key for this game for the Angels to win this ball game. Well, a man on the Silver Mountain, so important for Hector to pitch a very good game. A lot of pitches thrown, but so far as numbers, pretty solid. It's one run allowed on 3 hits for Hector, trying to get through this inning and possibly a couple more. Give the bullpen a little bit of a break.
Davies, the pitcher, fouls it back. Next pitch for Hector will be his 80th of the game. We're in the 4th. Sack bunt for Davies in his first plate appearance, and no official at bat for him. No balls, 2 strikes. Changeup.
You're almost doing a pitcher a favor on that one because you can flick that in to right field.
Davies skies this one on the infield. Simmons calling for it. And that leadoff single by Aaron Hill stranded at first base. We'll head to the 5th inning. The Angels up 2-1. Have the top of the order coming up.
And Escobar leading the team with 9 doubles. Ortega with an RBI single today. Mike Trout with an RBI triple today. Needing to score some more.
This telecast of Angels baseball on Fox Sports West is brought to you by Subaru Loves Promise. Subaru's pledge is to do right by the communities in which we all live and work. And by El Pollo Loco. Try the new double chicken salads today. Final game of this 3-game set here at Miller Park, home of the 2002 All-Star Game. Pretty nice ballpark. Opened up in 2001. Still looks good. Like the roof, it's kind of like a fan opening up, both to the left and to the right.
Yeah, they did a great job with this ballpark.
Yeah, the exact opposite of County Stadium, if that's possible. Not a fan, huh?
Not even the bullpen's warming up.
No.
I once hit the scoreboard in the bullpen there warming up, which is almost impossible to do.
Yeah, but you were changing eye level while you were getting ready.
No,
nothing wrong with that.
Trying to change light bulbs, I think.
Lifted out toward right center field. Tailing back toward right. That's Presley out there putting it away. 1 away. County Stadium, correct me if I'm wrong, very similar to the the bowl structure. Texas and Arlington.
Yeah, exactly.
Same thing. Arlington was a AAA facility, and then they got the Rangers in '72, formerly the Senators, so they had to build it up to what eventually became.
It was one of those fields though here in Milwaukee where if you got the ball on the ground, you could be all right. It was pretty thick infield grass.
It's like
not quite Wrigley Field, not quite
Detroit
or Detroit, close,
yeah.
but not quite that high as far as the grass. But I remember going a complete game there against the Brewers, and I threw, I think it was like 95, 96 pitches. I think I threw 89 or 90 fastballs that game because they kept hitting into the ground, and it was just, we always had a pretty good defensive infield, but that grass has ate up every ground ball. And I didn't even change that. I figured, you know what, they're going to hit the ball on the ground. I'm just going to stay with the fastball the whole day.
And why not, right?
Yeah. Again, that's one of those few times I didn't try to outthink myself out there.
1-2 count on Ortega. Rafi 1 for 2, an RBI single in the third. Also picked up a stolen base, scored a run. Middle of the infield, Davies gets out of the way. Perez makes the call on the catch, 2 outs. He was settled underneath it. He was ready to call for it.
Then he became a traffic cop, directed traffic, who was going to catch it.
2 up, 2 down. Here's Trout. Trout 1 for 2, struck out looking in the first. Tripled homer run in the third.
Might as well thrill his family one more time here. It's been a big series so far.
Trout now with 33 triples. Passes Adam Kennedy and Mickey Rivers for 5th franchise history. Mickey.
He was fun. He can make you laugh, that's for sure. Solid player also. And very similar 0-2. Lucroy going slider or cut fastball, curveball. On a curveball again.
This is ripped over to VR, the shortstop. One hopper and a 1-2-3 inning for Davies, who's now through 5. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Angels on top 2-1. The Los Angeles Angels, and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. Hector Santiago is yet to have a 1-2-3 inning. He's thrown 81 pitches, has himself a 2-1 lead. 4 punch outs, 3 walks, 3 hits allowed. He'll face the top of the order here in VR, Presley and Braun. Drops a slow breaking ball for a strike. VR 0 for 1. He walked in the first and struck out looking in the second. This is line to left center. That's a base hit. Ortega over to try to cut it off. Does so. Villar will slam on the brakes. A leadoff single for Jonathan Villar.
This pitch down in the strike zone. This is going to end up being a cut fastball. Villar very quick on fastballs. To barrel the bat out with an angle to cut fastball before it got all in on the hands. Be a threat to run now. And Hector with 2 pickoffs this year, 13 in his career. I wonder if Presley will be asked to square around and bunt. He has good speed, so you got to be ready to make a play quickly if he does square around.
Presley with a walk and a punch out. Escobar, the lone infielder on the left side. A quick pitch. 0-1. Wouldn't anticipate a sacrifice situation with Braun. I mean, if you're Milwaukee anyway, Angels could just easily walk him to face Lucroy. That worked out in Milwaukee's favor 2 nights ago.
Still think that's the right decision, as well as Ryan Braun has hit the baseball this entire series. Even in the out he made today was right to the wall in center field.
Hector and Albert playing catch. Simmons down the right side of the infield. Presley fouls it off. Got an off-speed pitch that was up too.
And he looked like he was trying to punch that ball to the left side of the infield, with Oni Escobar on that side of the field.
Clint Fagan, the second base umpire, trying to find the right spot for him to stand. He's kind of asked Simmons where to move. Last pitch he was on the shortstop side. Now he's back over to the second base side. 0-2. Breaking pitch, foul back.
And that got a lot of the strike zone. Got away with that one, Hector did. It looked like he tried to be extra quick to the plate and ended up bringing down his elbow and elevated that breaking pitch upper part of the strike zone. You're ahead of the count. Make him swing at your pitch out of the zone and get a punch out.
This is slapped through the left side, a base hit. That's a mistake pitch. Villar is going to turn, going to try to go to third, but throw from Ortega is cut off. So first and third with nobody out and Braun coming up. You're just doing him a favor by throwing up that pitch.
It went back to back, the same type of pitch. And just served it that way. That looked like he was trying to do the entire at bat. Again, let's talk about shifts put on by the Angels this year. 286 of them coming into the game, which is 5th highest. Milwaukee with 383. That's the 2nd highest.
So now it's Braun with runners at 1st and 3rd, nobody out.
Well, you have to go after me. All you can hope for now, you're looking for a double play ball. Prevent a big inning. We've seen a lot of big innings in this series by Milwaukee hitters. Limited damage, try to get a double play ball here.
And they've occurred right around this part of the game, too. 4th, 5th, 6th inning. No balls and a strike. Braun, a drive to deep center field. Trout caught it. And then a single, a third. So 1 for 2.
90 pitches thrown so far, 21 in the first, 25. Pretty much every inning, high pitch counts for Hector today. He's been very solid as far as eliminating that part of his game so far this year.
Ahead of the count at 0-2. Braun with a 444 on base percentage, slugging .602.
His 15 strikeouts in 88 official at bats this year, so he's going to put the ball in play. And I talked about his numbers, especially with runners in scoring position. Well over 500. He almost chased that high fastball.
VR standing at 3rd, Presley at 1st. 2-1 Angels. We're in the 5th. Nobody out. First 2 have reached here against Santiago. Ground ball back up the middle. Simmons to his left. Knocks it down. Gloves it over to Giannittano. They can't get the out. The run scores. And we're tied at 2. That'll goes an infield base hit and an RBI for Braun.
Coming inside with a cut fastball. And Braun didn't get the barrel of the bat on this one, but up the middle. Great range for Simmons. Tried to flip it at Giannittano. Shows you that range that Simmons has. And Presley just runs too well anyhow. Even if Giannittano's able to catch that, he's going to beat that second.
Now Nagy's going to come out and pay a visit. Scrambling going on in the Angels bullpen. 93 pitches for Santiago through 4 innings plus 3 batters. And unless something miraculous happens now, as Cambridge loosens, there will be 7 straight games in which the Angels have not had a starter complete 6 innings.
.60 strikes to the 93 pitches thrown for Hector. And a lot of pitches thrown today. And the comfort zone for him on the mound hasn't been there for him.
Looked a little uncomfortable in his last start as well against Texas. And I just mean that from an appearance standpoint, not a physical nature. Presley at 2nd, Braun at 1st. Here's Lucroy. Takes the fastball for a strike. Lucroy 0 for 2. He's popped out twice. Popped him up again. Infield fly should be called, and it is. 1 down.
It's a big out for Hector and the Angels. Lucroy is a solid season offensively.
He's now popped up to 2nd, short, and 3rd.
So he's got Albert next at bat.
One can only hope. So now it's Chris Carter with one out. Hector struck him out of the first and got him to pop up to shallow left in third inning. Tied at 2. We're in the fifth. One ball, one strike. Danger zone up there with Carter at the plate.
Fastball pretty close to the heart of the plate, upper part of the strike zone, though.
Two-one, chopper toward the middle. Giavitello was playing him there. It'll turn into a 4-3 double play to end the inning. But Milwaukee ties it up. The infield base hit by Braun as we head to the sixth. This telecast of Angels baseball on Fox Sports West is brought to you by Energy Upgrade California. It's easy to stay golden at energyupgradeca.org. New game tied at 2 as we begin the sixth inning. Davies back out on the bump. He's coming off a 1-2-3 fifth. He's retired the side in order twice. And the Angels here in the sixth inning with Pujols, Calhoun, and Simmons. .83 pitches for Davies, who's averaged 4 1/3 innings. He's gone 5 so far. The 2 walks that he's issued, both are to Albert.
Three infielders on the left side of the infield against Pujols.
Oh, 2 now. Albert yanks one foul. Mistake pitch by Davies up in the zone. The Angels with 5 hits, Milwaukee with 6. The 0-2 again. This was shot to right. Presley's there. One down. We'll bring up Cole Calhoun. Every moment matters when the Angels take on the Rays Sunday at 12:35. The first 20,000 adults in attendance will receive a Mother's Day beach tote courtesy of Thermador. Join us on Mother's Day. Visit angels.com/promotions.
Pretty cool little present. Should be a big crowd on hand for that game. Big series. You got the Rays the weekend, then followed by the Cardinals in town.
Fireworks on Saturday.
On Saturday? Is that the spectacular?
Yeah. The Saturday fireworks spectacular. Cole, a 1-for-2 game, a single and a fly ball to left.
Speaking of spectacular, great numbers for May for Cole Calhoun. Batting average .429.
Well, Lucroy wanted the call, and now the appeal doesn't get either.
The way Cole has swung the bat here in the month of May, I got to have a green light here for him.
Gets it and he fouls it off.
Good pitch to do some damage to a fastball, upper part of the strike zone. Davies, when he's effective, is lower part of the strike zone.
He walked him. Third now walk issued by Davies, puts a man on. And Simmons will come to the plate. Andrelton is 0 for 2 with a fly ball to right in the fielder's choice.
I think in terms of hit and run here, Milwaukee's thinking the same thing.
Davies now 92 pitches. Greg Counsell. Some action going in the Brewers bullpen out in left center. Simmons pulls one down the left field line, but hooks foul. Halos getting their 2 runs in the 3rd inning. RBI single by Ortega, and RBI triple by Mike Trout. First triple of the season. Milwaukee, on the other hand, got a home run off the bat of Hernan Perez in the 2nd inning, and then the RBI single infield variety by Braun in the 5th to tie it up. But Presley plays a very shallow right field, doesn't he? Cole takes off. The hit and run is on. It's a bouncer to short. VR has it. Simmons retired for round number 2.
Yeah, Presley generally a center fielder by trade. Plays right field like a center fielder would, very shallow. Usually it's a pretty good indication you feel more comfortable going back on the baseball instead of going in on the baseball.
Soto 0 for 2 with a couple of punch outs.
He's getting a steady diet of slow curveballs from Davies. It's been effective against him. In this game, 4 for 9 with 2 home runs and 3 RBI on this road trip. Could use a base hit here.
Big lead for Cole at second with 2 outs. This is out to right. Presley has to race back, and with his speed, he'll track it down for the 3rd out. So the Angels leave a man in scoring position. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th inning. This game tied at 2, and there is Bernie's dugout. We had some fun earlier today.
Time for Tools and Trade, brought to you by Ram Trucks. Bernie, perfect technique on the slide in the home run earlier from the Brewers. And then Victor with some excellent technique, sliding in. And then the other guy with the less than perfect technique of sliding down. Bernie slide.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
That's way up there, by the way. It
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
look that high when you're sitting here behind home plate looking out that way, but when you're up there, I'm telling you, I can't believe you didn't break out into like cold sweats.
I might have. I had some hard palpitations out there.
You may have pitted out.
Oh, man.
I was wondering why you were
way
changing
up
your
there.
shirt.
And then you're looking down. It's like it's a grading thing. You could still see straight down. Yeah, it was,
Yep.
hey, whatever it takes to get a victory today, we were willing to do.
Aaron Hill takes outside. Hill, Perez, and Flores, 6, 7, and 8 for Milwaukee in the bottom of the 6th inning. That was the 100th pitch thrown by Santiago on the afternoon. Hill 1 for 2 as he led off the 4th with a base hit. Lays off. 2 balls and a strike. 4 strikeouts and 3 walks for Santiago.
Going to have to have a clean inning victory to be able to stay in this inning.
Cabadrosian was loosening in the 5th. Still loosening here in the 6th. He's ready to go. A 3-1 count on Hill. Davies more than likely done for Milwaukee. His 6 innings. That's out towards center field. Middle chase Trout back. They'll stay in the ballpark. 1 out.
Talked about Trout having a lot of room out there in center field. Has had to use his speed to run down some long fly balls in this game.
Perez, the third baseman, swinging first pitch, fouls it off. 1-for-2 game with a home run in the second and a fly ball right in the fourth. The home run, his second of the year.
.92 with that fastball. Well, you know, as a starting pitcher, when you get to this point in the game where your pitch count is going up there, you want to put yourself in position to be able to pick up a W. You know, you have to have your best inning of the entire game. That's all you're thinking about. You want, you know, it's a team sport. But on the individual side, you want to give yourself a chance.
This one back up the middle is a base hit. 1-out single.
So she's moving around. The lefty batter up.
Ramon Flores due up. Bedrosian ready to go. We'll most likely get a pinch hitter for the pitcher spot that's due up next. Hector wants to do baseball. Flores, a walk and a strikeout. Single by Perez, the 7th hit for the Brewers. And now another new baseball. Escobar cheating in a little bit at third base just in case. First one in for a strike. This is a little looper to right. Base hit. Turning and heading to third is Perez, and Milwaukee has runners at the corners with 1 out.
It was off the plate, but it was off speed. Slider that backed up, it looked like. Flores just dropped the head of the bat, punched it into right field for a base hit.
Pinch hitters Colin Walsh. Switch hitting third base. We got the start at third base last night. Walsh hitting 107, 3 for 28. One for 10 as a pinch hitter. Almost hit him.
0 for 8 versus left-handed pitching. Well overthrown cut fastball. Just missed hitting his knee.
Walsh, a Rule 5 selection out of the Oakland A's organization. Perez at third base and Flores at first. After looking for that double play ball. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Leadoff man Jonathan Villar on deck. Tied at 2. Milwaukee threatening here in the 6th. 112 pitches thrown by Santiago. Long look down to Ed Cedar, the third base coach for the Brewers.
This makes you think of maybe a safety squeeze.
3-1. Walsh takes a strike.
Guffey in the strike zone.
Upper part, but it's in the strike zone.
Take a look at our Fox tracks. Fastball, pretty much the middle and upper part of the strike zone.
Now you got a guy that's got a little bit of pop in your bat, and that's the pitch you're trying to drive out. For if anything, you're trying to get a fly ball to score the runner from third. Here's a 3-2. Flores on the move, and it's ball 4. So they're loaded up. Here comes Mike Scioscia, and that's going to be it for Hector Santiago. Unable to get through 6 innings, he'll depart with the bases loaded. We're tied at 2.
Sports West is brought to you by Mercury Insurance. On a mission to save you money. Log on to MercuryInsurance.com today to get a fast free quote and see how much you could save. And by your Southern California Toyota dealers.
Still tied at 2 here in the bottom of the 6th with 1 out. Bases loaded. Mike Scioscia goes to the bullpen. Takes out Hector Santiago. Bringing in Cam Pedrosian, who had an excellent game last time out a couple nights ago when he punched out 5. See those numbers for Hector, 5 1/3, 8 hits, 4 walks though, 4 strikeouts. For some help out of the bullpen, or who's in, who's out. Cam Pedrosian in, Hector Santiago out. Looking for a punch out or ground ball double play. 5 1/3 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 9 strikeouts, including 5 straight on Monday.
In and out double sounds good right now.
Yes,
doesn't
it does. Yes.
In and out double play would sound better.
Yes.
VR, the switch hitting shortstop, batting from the left side, is 1 for 2 with a walk and a single. First one. A little bit high. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
VR is grounded into 1 double play. It's going to be difficult to turn a double play against him. Very fast.
High fastball challenged him. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cam went inning and 2/3 Monday night. Allowed 1 hit. And he finished up by striking out 5 straight. Breaking pitch, lifted foul and out of play. 1-2. Perez at third, Flores at second, and Walsh pinch hitter at first base.
I wonder if he doesn't try to go upstairs with the fastball now. If that's the case, here Rafael Ortega out in left field, be ready to come in on the baseball. If he catch that, make a firm throw towards the plate.
That one got into the seats quickly. Count remains at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Good test for Cam here. Tight game. Trout shading the yard the opposite way toward the alley in left center. Pujols and Escobar each playing pretty much even with the bags, first and third respectively. The 1-2. Got him swinging. Down goes Villar, 2 down.
We thought that upper part of the strike zone fastball from Cam. See that running action, but it's the location of that pitch just above the belt. Big punch out for Cam Bedrosian, trying to finish off this inning, pick up Hector and the Angels.
Here's Alex Presley, a walk, a strikeout, and a single. Takes a strike.
Under control with his breaking pitch. 6 straight punch outs against the Brewers for Cam Bedrosian.
And the dirt gets away from Soto, and here comes Perez, and he will score on a wild pitch. Perez gambled. That ball shot up at first base line. And Milwaukee leads it 3-2.
It's all because he did not hesitate, had a good little secondary lead, just far enough away from Soto. He took the chance. Another breaking ball, this time overthrown. And blocked well, but that spin away from the body. But a good read by Perez. Scores the go-ahead run.
That run gets charged to Santiago. Runners at second and third now. 1-1 count on Presley. Two balls, 1 strike. That's back-to-back breaking balls now on Presley.
Especially to life. He's shown he could throw his breaking ball for a strike. Then you go fastball. If you get ahead of the count, then you could bounce one of those breaking balls. And his life on his fastball has been very, very good.
Ground ball left side. Simmons goes to the backhand, fires at the first, and that'll retire Presley for the 3rd out. But a wild pitch brings in the go-ahead run. We'll head to the 7th. The Angels now down 3-2. Yeah, watch games on TV. You can now stream games live on your mobile device. Just go to your app store and download the free Fox Sports Go app. Log in and stream the Angels wherever you go. Top of the 7th. The Angels now down by the score of 3-2, and Craig Counsell goes to his bullpen as Davies ends up going 6 innings and allowing 2 runs on 5 hits. It's Carlos Torres taking over on the mound.
Torres fastballs 88-92, but throws a ton of cut fastballs. 67% of his pitches are cut fastballs, curveball, occasional changeup.
Torres signing with Milwaukee in April as a free agent. Last year pitched with the Mets, 59 games out of the bullpen, 5-6 record and a 4.68 ERA. Facing G-Man Choi, the pinch hitter. This is the pitcher spot in the order. One for 14 this year. He's 0 for 2 as a pinch hitter in the series. Struck out to end the game last night. Torres falls behind here. 2 balls, no strikes.
It's that cut fastball.
12th game for Torres. He's also pitched with the White Sox and the Rockies prior to joining the Mets. Choi tardy on that one. Evans counted 2 balls, 2 strikes. Giavatella on deck, and then Yunel Escobar. 2-2. Choi can't catch up to that high fastball. 1 away.
Time with a 4-seam fastball upstairs, they had some cut fastballs down to 94, upper part of the strike zone. Pulled off, head moved, unable to make contact.
Johnny 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored. Giavatella made up his mind he was going to hack first pitch. Late life on that one. Double for Johnny in the 3rd inning, his 2nd of the season. No balls, 2 strikes. Zach Davies, 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 strikeouts, 3 walks, and 2 runs earned. His 4th start of the season. Foul back. Johnny shoots one to right. Presley is there to put it away. Plays shallow, but able to get back on it. 2 down.
Made a couple good plays in the last few innings. It's the 5th fly ball he's ran down today.
So 2 outs, nobody on for Escobar. Yunel 0 for 2. He's also picked up a sacrifice bunt. 0-2.
He's come in and throw a lot of strikes.
I mean, that's what I was just going to say. Just pounding the strike zone. Here it is.
For a bullpen that has struggled this year, they've looked pretty good in this 3-game series. Some pretty good power arms. Torres with that good cut fastball.
Kind of goes to show you the struggles that the Angels offense is going through right now. Breaking ball misses. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Especially when you're looking for those add-on runs, especially even back in the 3rd inning, an opportunity to get another run home at the triple by Trout with 1 out. Albert walks and no more runs scored. You just got to try to keep adding on. Especially in this ballpark, the baseball carries very well.
2-2. Escobar takes outside. Full count. Rafi Ortega on deck. 2 runs, 5 hits, 5 left on for the Angels. 3 runs, 8 hits, 8 left on for Milwaukee. Line to center, and that'll get down for a base hit. A 2-out knock for Escobar. Keeps the inning alive for the Angels. Here comes Ortega.
Well, all you want now is him to get on base somehow, some way, whether it's a walk or a base hit. Give Trout an opportunity to swing the bat. Ortega's done a nice job, 4 for 10 in this series. Got a batting average over 300 for the season.
Ortega 1 for 3 game with an RBI single. Pulls this one foul. Ortega's done a nice job for the Angels. Daniel Nava's been on the 15-day disabled list. Greg Gentry's also on DL, a back issue. Quite honestly, considering the black hole that the number 2 spot had been, figured it'll be Ortega that will maintain a hold of that in left field. You never know, obviously, but pretty dynamic little player. He's catching fire. He's only 24. He can run, play good, solid defense.
Great throwing arm, makes contact, good at bats.
That'll even the count. Fernando Salas getting ready for the Angels. He'll pitch the bottom of the 7th. Milwaukee will have Braun, Lucroy, and Carter due up. Heart of their order. Ground ball to second. Aaron Hill has it. And the Angels are done here in the 7th. Stretch time in Milwaukee. The Halos down 3-2. Down 3-2, bottom of the 7th as they roll out the barrel here in Milwaukee. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, delivers everything you've come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live. Is he teasing me right now? In HD on over 400 supported devices. I feel like he's mocking me. Yeah. Includes a free subscription to @Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details.
He's saying, hey guys, how'd you like my little home away from home?
Oh man, that's awesome. Halos down 3-2, bottom of the 7th. Braun, Lucroy, Carter. 3-4-5 for the Brewers to face Fernando Salas. 13th game, 1-1 mark and a 2.57 ERA. And this is Salas's, pardon me, first appearance of this series. Last pitch Sunday, 1 inning and 2/3, allowed 2 hits and 2 strikeouts against Texas. First one to Braun is upstairs. Braun 2 for 3. His RBI infield single in the 5th tied the score at 2. 22nd run batted in. Bedrosian, by the way, 2/3 of an inning, 1 strikeout. That wild pitch brought in Perez from 3rd and gave Milwaukee the 3-2 edge.
And that fastball just off the inside corner at their slider away.
With the high fastball.
It's right down the middle of the plate, upper part of the strike zone. Got to have a quick inning, put up a 0. Big part of the lineup coming up for the Halos, the top of the 8th.
Braun shoots one down the line, slices out of play.
Count like this for Fernando Salas, who's done a very good job as far as getting hitters a chase out of the strike zone. 40% chase rate for him this season for Fernando. Good opportunity to be able to get something out of the zone to get Ryan Braun the chase and swing and miss.
Bill protect mode there. 1-2 fastball away. Sky to right. One down. Salas this year, for the most part, is going to be around the plate. Has been through the first 12 games. 14 innings of work. Just 3 walks. 10 hits allowed. He struck out 12. The times we've seen over the years with Fernando, where you'll see that dip in velocity for him, and even that 1-2 miles per hour is huge when it comes to Salas and his performance. He starts getting hit around a little bit.
It's all about using him the right way. Too much use creates that dip in velocity. We've said that a lot about a lot of guys down in the bullpen. They've been worked a ton of late.
Lucroy takes the breaking ball low. The catcher's 0 for 3. Popped out all 3 of his first plate appearances. This is the 7th consecutive game in which the Angels have had a starter not last through 6 innings. Lucroy didn't like that call, but caught the outside corner. It's 1-1.
One of those opportunities now for Fernando Salas to get a swing and miss potentially. 40% chase percentage, which is 9th highest major league pitcher. At least 75 batters faced so far this year. What that means is chase something out of the strike zone, whether it's his changeup, which he has a very good one, or his high fastball out of the strike zone. Try to get him to chase that fastball just off the corner. 93, good velocity today in this game for Salas.
Carter on deck. 2-2 now. This is pulled toward third, gloved by Escobar. 2 down. Halos in the 8th have Trout, Pujols, and Calhoun due up. Action in the Milwaukee bullpen. Tyler Thornburg pitched last night, getting ready. Chopper back to the mound. Self-preservation right there by Fernando, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. 7 completed Milwaukee. Heart of the order coming up for the Angels. Down a run.
Well, a lot of power of these three. 107 home runs last year. Looking for at least 1 or 2 this inning.
The 8th here in Milwaukee. Angels trailing the Brewers 3-2. I'm Patrick O'Neill. I'll be here after the game for Angels Live, brought to you by your SoCal Mazda dealers. Jose Mota will be with me as well, and so much yet to be determined. Probably the game to be decided right here with Trout, Pujols, and Calhoun upcoming. We'll talk about Hector Santiago and how yet another Angel starter can't get through 6 innings. And Jose wants to touch on the big bats for the Brewers. They're 3, 4, 5 hitters, in particular Braun with runners in scoring position. But Victor and Mark, this is the moment of the game coming up right now.
There's no doubt. Heart of the order coming up, Patrick. And it's Tyler Thornburg on a relief. 11th game, 2-0 record, a 2.61 ERA. Mentioned he pitched last night. 1 hit, 1 strikeout allowed. Trout jumping on that first pitch fastball, fouls it back.
Yeah, good fastball from Thornburg. 92-96. Curveball, slider, changeup.
No balls, 2 strikes. Trouty 1 for 3, a triple, and an RBI in the 3rd inning.
It's the 3rd time in this game Trout's been behind the count 0-2. The series so far batting .500, 6 for 12.
Trout shoots one out to right. This one's hit pretty well. Presley giving chase. He's at the wall. That is gone. Big fly for Mike Trout ties this game up at 3.
I think I can hear the family cheering down there for Mike Trout. 7th home run of the season on an 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball twice now. He's hammering a breaking ball. Once to the wall for a triple. And here, breaking ball stays back on that so well. Kept his body back, hands back, and crushed that ball to right field, tying the game up. Just like we asked for with this 3 coming up this inning.
Right, and somebody's nachos out there beyond the wall. 3-3 tie. Albert 0 for 1 with a couple of walks. No balls, 2 strikes. Galbert guessing location there.
This time went with a fastball 0-2. Just an amazing player. So good even with 2 strikes.
Albert takes a breaking ball. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Santiago off the hook. 1-2. Albert fouls it back. Thornburg just not waste any time, comes right after you.
Certainly throwing a lot of strikes.
Torres pitched a scoreless 7th inning, allowing a hit, striking out a man. Try to lead off home run here in the 8th to tie things up. 1-2 again. Fastball got him looking. 1 down.
It's a pretty tough pitch. You're at the mercy of the home plate umpire for Albert Pujols. Just barely, if anything, touching that outside part of the plate on corner of our Fox tracks. As a hitter, there's really not a lot you can do on that one. All you can hope for is the umpire calls that one a ball. That's the perfect pitcher's pitch, and he gets the call, even though that could have been easily called a ball.
It's been a really inconsistent series behind the plate.
Yeah, not a lot of low strikes have been called.
Cole 1 for 2 with a single and a walk. No action in the Angels pen. Salas will come back out for the 8th. Line to center. Boy, that was a rocket. That almost takes off the head of Flores in center on the 1 hop.
That's some sound. Love to hear this. When you talk about squaring up a baseball. He's going with a fastball, but then crushed that. Stayed back on it as usual early in the count. Cole's going to be swinging, and that sound is outstanding off the bat. It almost went by him.
It's 107 miles per hour off the bat.
In a similar scenario, you have a hit and run potentially set up.
Simmons 0 for 3. 0 for his last 16. So she tried to hit and run the last time. Ended up grounding out to short. Ground ball down the line, foul. All leaving in the hits column, both teams with 8. Opposite field home run for Trout, 7th of the year. 2nd RBI of the ball game. He's got 22 runs batted in now in the season. Making this a 3-3 game. Cole over at first. Breaking ball outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Halos have Giovanni Soto on deck. Joe Smith just playing some catch now, lightly. Score remains tied. It'll be Salas. Two. I think either way it'll stay with Salas.
Yeah, you think so. Looks like Joe's just getting loosened up just in case there's some trouble in the 8th.
Two balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. Ground ball slowly hit towards short. VR goes to second, and they get the lead runner. It's a nice play by the shortstop. Round number 2.
I thought it was just going to go right to first base, slow roller like that. That was about a 95-mile-an-hour throw over there to second base. And Hill able to keep his foot on the base with the force out.
Here's Giovanni Soto. Breaking ball down low. Giovanni today 0 for 3. Couple of strikeouts and a fly ball to right. Good lead for Simmons at first. Tried to lead with that swing. High
I like
fastball.
that swing. 2-0 count. Try to do some damage. Put yourself in position to get a hitter's count. Let it go.
Missed it. 3 balls, 1 strike. C.J. Cron's grabbed a bat. He's in the on-deck circle. It's a pitcher spot in the order. Three-one pitch. Soto yanks it foul. And now Simmons will get a head start over from first base with a full count, 2 outs.
Fastball to do some damage just inside enough. It's made it difficult for Soto to keep that in the field of play. Out a little bit further, and that baseball's going to go a long way. That's his zone.
Simmons takes off 3-2, and he fouled it back. Tied him up with a high fastball.
A little bit out of the strike zone. Soto looking to do some damage on a fastball in the inner half. He's got 3 of them so far this season, including 2 on this road trip.
Upstairs, and he walked him. Well, with an off-speed pitch, huh? Angels will take it. Go ahead run now in scoring position. Here's Crone.
Quick conversation. They're on the mound now. Derek Johnson, pitching coach. C.J. Crone has had a nice road trip. 7 for 14. 4 RBI.
Third pinch hit appearance for CJ in this series. Had a single Monday night, and he drew a walk last night. Simmons at second, Soto at first. Tied at 3 here in the 8th. Lays off the high fastball. Lucroy looking into the dugout. Flashing signs with 2 outs.
First and second. Anything you can think of maybe is a back pick, but still at this point I wouldn't even think you're even worried about the runners at this point.
Right down the pipe for strike, 1-1.
And that's C.J. Crone's nitro zone right in that spot. He would love to get that pitch back, even though it's 94. That's his spot.
Simmons a big lead at second base. Same exact pitch, 1-2.
Now you shorten up. He had a little flare single RBI in this series. Right on top. Fastball, true 4-seamer.
One-two pitch upstairs. Watch out. .29 pitches thrown by Thornburg here in this 8th inning. Trout tying things up to lead off this 8th. With 2 strikes, a home run out to right. Simmons reaching out the fielder's choice. Soto on a walk. 2-2 now. Full count. And another head start here. Outfield very shallow. Big lead for Simmons already at second. Runners go 3-2. That's hit out toward left. Braun giving chase and not going to get there. It'll fall in. Simmons will score. Soto's being stopped at third. The Angels are on top 4-3 on a ball that appeared to be catchable.
It looked like it was close enough to Ryan Braun. I thought he might slide and try to make that play, but fortunately for the Angels, he did not. And that's a good stop there by Ron Renicky on Soto at third. Fastball inner half. He jammed them, but strong enough. C.J. Crone for another hit on this road trip. It's more that angle he took.
Yeah.
Kind of went around it instead of cutting the angle. Might have had a play on it. take it, though.
That's going to be it for Thornburg. Council's going to go out and pull the plug. A pitching change here in the 8th inning, and it started with Trout leading off the inning against Thornburg, tying it up, going oppo, and Crone putting the Angels ahead.
That was on an 0-2 pitch, a breaking ball out the right for Trout. Triple homer in the game.
The Angels just won a couple of multi-hit games, pardon me. Calhoun and Trout. Trout, of course, with a triple and a home run. 2 runs batted in. Cole with a couple of singles. And C.J. Crone with a big pinch hit RBI double to give the Angels a 4-3 lead. Still batting here in the 8th. Johnny Giavitello will face the right-hander Blaine Boyer, non-roster invitee to spring training with Milwaukee, pitching in his 11th game. No record and a 2.84 ERA.
Fastball 90-93 range, slider, curve changeup. Last season, this was Johnny Giavitello time late in the game. Always shortens up a swing.
Runners at second and third. Johnny 1 for 3. He had a double back into third as he cues downward foul. No balls and a strike.
See those numbers in late close game situations last year, 365. She led the American League in that category, at least 70 or more at bats. More of a line drive, use the middle of the field approach late in games.
No 2. Boyer's been around. Georgia native, drafted by the Atlanta Braves. After the big leagues for the first time in 05. He's bounced around since then. Cardinals, Diamondbacks, the Mets, went to Japan briefly. The Padres and the Minnesota Twins last year, pitching 68 games and had a very good season last year. 3-6 with a 2.49 ERA for the Twins. 0-2. Johnny pulls one past Perez to the left. 2 runs will come in to score, and it is 6-3 Angels. Giavitello gunned down for the 3rd out, but that's all right. They'll take the 2 runs, and we're already plated.
Johnny G time come through again. Big 2-out, 2 RBI single for Giavitello, right, giving the Angels the lead now.
4-run 8th inning for the Halos. Fernando Salas coming back out with a 6-3 lead.
Coverage of baseball. King Felix going for the victory today, but down up in Oakland 2-0 top of the fifth. Washington all over Kansas City. Scores 6 in the first. Daniel Murphy, 2 singles, double, home run. Home run by Bryce Harper also. And San Francisco's winning streak stopped by Cincinnati. They have 4 home runs in the game. All of Jake Peavy. 3 of them, I should say, in the second inning against Peavy.
It's a lot of runs for the Nationals. Joe Smith is on a relief here in the 8th inning, trying to squeeze 6 outs out of him.
Talked to Minetti, he said he felt good. I don't know if he was ready to go for the thought process of 6 outs, but he's been there before. He's a setup guy.
Salas, a pitcher of record, had a scoreless 1-2-3 7th. It's Hill, Perez, and Flores for Milwaukee here in the 8th. Angels pulling the old double switch here. Smith comes in, and he'll bat in the number 9 spot. The pitcher spot now in the 9th spot. Cliff Pennington is the new second baseman. He'll go in the 8th spot in the order. No other changes for the Angels. Hill went around, 1 down.
Didn't waste any pitches, went right after him. A nasty slider to finish off. Hill to get the first out. Great arm angle on that slider. Looks like a fastball, then drops down and away. And Hill could not check a swing.
Hernan Perez, a 2-for-3 game with a home run and a single, couple runs scored. Evans count up at 1 ball, 1 strike.
Joe's got that good sink going today. 88, 89. Usually sets up that slider going away.
Sharply hit to second. That's Pennington. 2 down. Bases cleared. Here comes Flores, the center fielder. One for 2 game for Flores. Single, strikeout, and a walk. Slice foul.
Well, Joe's not messing around. He's attacking that strike zone.
Oh, 2 slider, got him. A 1-2-3 inning for Joe Smith. We will head to the 9th with the Angels up 6-3.
Fox Sports West is brought to you by Hyundai. Great deals on amazing cars are going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Visit buyhyundai.com today. By Jack in the Box. Taste the Baconlicious Sourdough Bacon Ranch Combo. Only at Jack in the Box. And by the Jeep Renegade. Find your inner Renegade and reach your highest potential with an EPA estimated 31 highway miles per gallon.
Top of the ninth. 6-3. Halos on top. Statue of Hank Aaron outside Miller Park. This number of many great Milwaukee Brave and Milwaukee Brewers.
Yes, indeed.
Because he came back and played for the Brewers. I remember the Baby Blues.
Quite a few retired numbers here in Milwaukee.
Top of the order, Escobar, Ortega, and Trout. First pitch is a breaking ball for a strike. David Goforth taking over for Boyer. Got the last out courtesy of Johnny trying to stretch a single into a double. Giving up the 2 RBI single to Giavitello. This is back up the middle. It's a leadoff single for Escobar, his second hit of the game.
You go for a fastball, 90-94 range, slider. There was a lot of them, and curveball. Right back up the middle. Some good swings here, especially later in the game. Little crooked numbers in a couple innings in this game. 2 in the third. 4 in the 8th. Looking for some more now in the 9th.
All 4 of those runs in the 8th inning charged to Thornburg. Goforth, the 7th round pick in 2011 by Milwaukee. As Ortega takes a little bit high. He's out of the University of Mississippi. Got into 20 games last year, pitching in his 3rd this year. Ortega 1 for 4 game, an RBI single and a stolen base in the 3rd. Quick throw to first, and Unell is back. One-0 pitch. Escobar takes off. Carter will field this one. They stay out of the double play. 1 down with a man in scoring position. Trout coming up. That's what Trout did with 2 strikes in the 8th. He's off the 8th.
Well, did a great job of staying back on this curveball. Outer part of the plate and drives it out. Right field. Home run number 7. Now 22 RBI on the season for Trout.
Intentional walk coming here.
You know you're good when the fans, your home fans, are booing. We intentionally walk Trout here. We want to see him swing the bat, as we do too.
It'll give Albert an opportunity to help extend the Angels' lead. Three balls and no strikes. There's ball 4.
First baseman, Albert.
Albert today has walked twice, hit a fly ball to right, and he struck out looking pitch off the plate in the 8th. That puts him at 0 for 2. Escobar at second, Trout at first. Albert went around. It's 0-1.
Hard slider off the plate.
Looks like Goforth has that knuckle curve. See the grip before it goes into the glove. 1-1 or spike curve, whatever you want to call it.
There's quite a few pitches between the slider and a curveball. There it is right there.
Albert skies one out to deep left center field. A towering shot. Back to the wall is Flores. He'll make the catch. Tagging is Escobar heading to third. Trout stays at first as Albert just missed it, being a 3-run blast.
Way off the bat, I thought they had a chance of getting out, especially the way the baseball is carried. That's a pretty deep part of the ballpark. Went four-seam fastball. Just missed it.
First and third, 2 outs. Cole, a 2-for-3 game, couple of singles and a walk.
Halos trying to extend their 6-3 lead. 9-1-2 due up for Milwaukee in the 9th. Cole loops one out toward right center field. He will do just that. Escobar scores. Trout on his way to third. Make it 7-3 Halos. 3-hit game for Calhoun.
Once again on the first pitch swinging. Successful last year doing the same thing. First or second pitch doing damage. There's damage on that first pitch. It's like the last at bat. Fights that one off. Some pretty good movement on that pitch, but once again, Cole aggressive. Another base hit.
Andrelton Simmons at the plate. He's had an 0-for-4 game. No balls, 2 strikes. Ground ball towards short. VR has it. He'll flip it to Hill, and that'll do it for the Angels. They do add a run. We head to the bottom of the 9th with the Angels up 7-3. for the Angels to cheer about in this 3-game set. But today, especially late, Mike Trout coming up big with the game-tying home run. C.J. Cron, big RBI pinch hit single to give the Angels a lead. And Johnny Giavotella adding a 2 RBI single. Cole Calhoun with an RBI knock in the 9th. It's 7-3 Angels here in the bottom of the 9th inning as Milwaukee sends up 9-1-2. Kirk Neuenhuis to pinch hit here. This is the pitcher spot. They'll be followed by Jonathan Villar and then Alex Presley. Neuenhuis getting the night off or day off today. Pinch hitting here in the 9th against Joe Smith at a 1-2-3 eighth, including a couple of strikeouts.
And only 10 pitches to get those 3 outs.
Lifted out to left. Ortega drifting back on it. You talk about some. Look at that carry. You kind of just reached out and flipped that out there.
Play.
No doubt. 1 down. VR 1 for 3 game. Pretty good pitch. Didn't go. Evens the count of 1 ball, 1 strike. Fernando Salas, the pitcher of record for the Angels. Hector Santiago, the starter, went 5 1/3, allowed 3 runs on 8 hits. Pedroia, 2/3 of an inning. 1 strikeout and 1 wild pitch. His wild pitch at that point gave Milwaukee a 3-2 lead. Angels came back for him. Villar shoots one out toward right center field. Calhoun calling for it. 2 down.
This time Cole gets that baseball and says, hey, look, I'll get this one. Remember, last game, Trout came over in front of him. Said, I got this one. Don't worry. So far, Joe trying to get a 6-out save. There's 16 pitches to get the first 5 outs.
First one in for a strike. Presley, a walk, a strikeout, a single, and a ground out. That makes it 1 for 3. Joe Smith looking for that 6-out save. His 24 career saves, only 1 longer than an inning. It was an inning and a 1/3 last year on July the 20th. One pitch. 2-1. That missed down and away. Caught the corner, full count.
Yeah, good spot on that fastball.
I'm trying to figure out the difference between that pitch and the one before. Just kind of living right there at the knees. The Angels will take it. (3-2). Presley fouls it off the left. Angels dropped the first 2 of the series, just like they did in Texas. They picked up the getaway game on Sunday, trying to do the same here. This time with 4 runs in the 8th, 1 in the 9th. Another payoff. Presley grounds through the right side. It's a base hit. A 2-out single keeps it alive for Milwaukee, and Ryan Braun will come to the plate.
It's a quality at bat by Presley. Second hit, also has a walk in the game.
Braun fouls the first one back.
One thing about Ryan Braun, he's very aggressive on the first pitch also.
A 1. Lifted, foul, and out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. Braun's had a 2-for-4 game with a couple of singles. Picked up his 22nd RBI. Just missed going yard in the first. Thought about it. Meaningless base runner at first base. Nothing personal, Mr. Presley, but Albert playing behind him. 1-2 pitch outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, now if Joe could bring that 2-seam fastball started away and catching that outside corner, that should finish him off, even though Braun can hit a fastball. That slider just missed the outside corner.
Ground ball to short. This should do it. Simmons will go the short way. Light that baby up as the Angels take the finale of this 3-game set. 7-3 the final this afternoon.
Yeah, big game for Trout. Triple, home run, couple RBI. Cole Calhoun, big game himself with 3 hits. Big pinch hit. Double. C.J. Cron, 6-out save for Joe Smith. Johnny Giavotella, as usual, late in the game, pressure situation, came through with a big 2-run single. As the Angels able to pull this one out 7-3, 12 hits for the offense here today.
Fernando Salas picks up the victory in relief. He worked a perfect 7th inning. Joe Smith picks up the 6-out save. And it's Thornburg who takes the loss. He's the guy charged with the 4 runs in 2/3 of an inning in the 8th inning. As the Angels pick up the 7-3 victory. And you talk about the offensive outburst, the 12 hits, a lot of it, 5 of which happened in the last 2 innings. But Trout overall a very solid game with a triple and the home run, that big home run that tied things up. And then Cole Calhoun, a 3-hit game, quiet 3-hit game, but a 3-hit game nonetheless.
Yeah, that was a great swing he had too, Cole. That loud sound off the bat, that one of his hits, the second hit of his 3. A big victory, though, for the Halos to be able to pull this one off before flying home with an off day tomorrow.
C.J. Cron had the pinch hit single, and Johnny Giavotella, you're talking about late and close. He came up late and close, clutch, 2 RBI single to add some insurance for the Angels. He's down on the field right now with Jose Mota.
Yes, he did, Victor. Well, Johnny, you know the offense at some point, or you guys believe is going to wake up. How nice is it to do it later in the game?
It was a big win for us, especially coming from behind like that. We were down 2-0 here in Milwaukee, so to come back here on a day game and get a win was big for us.
Let's talk about the offense and the flow in the National League ballpark under those rules. Could that be disrupted at all?
It's definitely a little bit different. We're used to American League style play, which is using the DH and kind of regulated each game. So you got to be on your toes here, ready to play each inning, and the boys show up today and did well.
you personally had hit a little dry spot. You're working hard to get out of it. What are the consistent things you're working on to get consistency?
All I can do is just hit the ball hard, and wherever it goes, it is what it is. I've been hitting the ball hard, just haven't been getting many hits, but it's just part of the game. So I just got to stay confident, keep doing what I've been doing, and good things happen.
It's working. Thank you.
Thank you.
Johnny G comes through again big time. Last year for the Angels, he had 13 go-ahead RBIs. 9-game winners. Here comes Angels Live with Patrick O'Neill, all presented by your SoCal Mazda dealers. Angels win at Miller Park.